May 2012 was supposed to be the night Berlin rewrote the rules of airport design. Guests were invited, champagne was ready, a symbol of German perfection was about to open its doors. Instead, a single phone call declared it illegal. The caller said, "If you let anyone inside, you are committing a crime." For 9 years, this €7 billion structure stood finished but forbidden, hiding a blunder so deep that fixing it nearly bankrupted the city. How did a quest for flawless beauty create the world's most expensive mistake? No chimneys, no vents, no ugly pipes breaking the line of the roof, just a perfect, seamless sheet of steel and glass. That was the demand. The architects wanted the airport to float, to impress, to stand for a new Berlin. Every engineer who looked at the plans asked the same question: where does the smoke go if there is a fire? The answer was nowhere. The roof had to stay untouched. The lead architect would not allow a single vent. A normal airport would have simple chimneys letting hot smoke rise and escape. But here, physics became a problem to be ignored. So the engineers were ordered to do the impossible: make smoke go down instead of up. The solution was a system so big and so expensive it was called the monster. Massive fans buried deep under the terminal were designed to grab smoke as it rose and force it down through kilometers of ducts into a concrete basement. The monster was supposed to keep the roof clean and the building beautiful. In reality, it was a gamble with every life that would one day walk through the terminal. The fans had to fight the natural force of hot air, working against gravity and pressure. If the system failed, smoke could fill the hall in minutes, trapping thousands. At the center of this plan stood Alfredo Di Mauro, the man in charge of fire protection. His business card said engineer, but he was only a draftsman. Years later, he admitted that everyone thought he was an engineer, and he just did not contradict them. The monster was his design. It was untested, unproven, and built on a lie. But the deadlines were set, and no one wanted to be the person who said stop. So the monster was installed, cables were run, and the airport moved closer to its grand opening, carrying a secret buried beneath its flawless roof. May 2012. The airport is gleaming, silent, waiting for its moment. Inspectors from TÜV, Germany's technical authority, arrive with clipboards and hard hats. Their job is to test every system, certify every corner, and decide if this building is safe for human life. They start with the fire alarm. A technician flips the switch. Within minutes, smoke billows into the main hall, not out through the hidden ducts, not down into the basement, but straight across the concourse. The monster, the pride of the design, does not work. Instead of protecting people, it traps the danger inside. Panic spreads among the engineers. The inspectors move quickly, checking backup systems, emergency doors, alarms. Fire doors refuse to close. Sprinklers stand dry. The control system flickers, overloaded by a tangle of wires, some so poorly installed that high-voltage lines brush against data cables, ready to spark disaster. The inspectors document everything. They lift ceiling tiles and find cables twisted and stuffed, insulation missing, connections loose. Every discovery leads to another. Each fix reveals more chaos underneath. The numbers start to mount. 66,000 defects, officially logged. Some reports push that number even higher as new problems are uncovered. A death trap, hidden behind polished glass and steel. The inspector's verdict is blunt. This airport cannot open. It is illegal to let a single passenger inside. The building is ruled unsafe for public use under German law. If anyone sets foot in this terminal, the city faces criminal liability for endangering lives. The party is over before it ever begins. Contractors are ordered off-site. Politicians scramble for answers. The airport, once a symbol of German precision, is now sealed by a court order. For the first time, the world sees the truth. Behind the beautiful facade lies a machine built to fail. The doors stay locked, and the countdown to nowhere begins. The airport didn't just sit in silence. Every night, an empty Deutsche Bahn train rolled into the underground station, headlights cutting through the darkness, doors hissing open to greet nobody. The platform lights flickered on for a ghost. No passengers, no announcements, just the echo of machinery. These runs weren't for show. If the train stopped, the tunnels would fill with stale air, moisture would creep in, and the whole system could seize up. So the ghost train kept running, night after night, burning money to keep the tracks alive for a future that never seemed to arrive. Inside the terminal, the illusion of life went even further. 750. Flight information screens glowed around the clock, cycling through times and destinations for flights that didn't exist. The screens didn't last. They burned out, pixel by pixel, until entire rows went dark. Technicians replaced them all, once, then again, before a single real passenger ever looked up for a gate number. The lights in the terminal never went off. Not once. The wiring was so tangled, and the control software so unstable, that turning off the lights risked crashing the entire security system. So the building glowed, day and night for years. Heating and air conditioning hummed through empty halls just to keep pipes from freezing and mold from blooming behind the walls. Maintenance crews patrolled the empty corridors, checking sensors, testing alarms, logging hours to keep the illusion of readiness alive. Every flickering bulb, every humming server, every silent escalator meant another invoice sent to the city. Millions of euros vanished each month just to keep the airport from rotting into a ruin. The building was forbidden to open, but it couldn't be allowed to die. For 9 years, Berlin paid to keep a ghost alive, an airport that existed only on paper, in rumors, and in the endless glow of lights no one needed. The money vanished almost as quickly as the hope. The original promise was a world-class airport for 2 billion euros. But with every month the doors stayed locked, the bills kept coming. By the time the lights finally flickered on for real, the cost had ballooned to 7 billion euros, 3 times the budget, paid by taxpayers in Berlin, Brandenburg, and across Germany. The airport's finances became a black hole, swallowing loans, bailouts, and emergency funds. Every failed fix meant more contracts, more consultants, more invoices stamped urgent. The chaos behind the scenes was not just technical, it was financial. Royal Imtech, the Dutch contractor responsible for the fire and smoke systems, filed for bankruptcy in August 2015. Before collapsing, Imtech's managers pushed through millions in extra claims, approved with barely a question. Auditors called it unique and extraordinary, money flowing out the door for work that did not even solve the problems. When prosecutors started digging, they found more than incompetence. Jochen Grossman, the airport's technical director, was caught taking bribes from Imtech, 150,000 euros in cash handed over at a highway gas station. That was just the start. Other managers faced suspicion of fraud, with contracts awarded to friends and invoices paid with no oversight. The politicians who promised Berlin a new era of prosperity had their names all over the airport's blueprints. Klaus Wowereit, the mayor who championed the project, resigned in 2014 under a storm of criticism. Chief executive officers and directors came and went, each one promising a fresh start, each one leaving as the crisis deepened. In 2015, the Brandenburg comptroller released a 400-page audit. The verdict was clear. Financial control was insufficient and inefficient. The airport's books were a mess, and the supervision board was asleep at the wheel. Even the auditors who signed off on the airport's accounts had previously approved the now infamous Wirecard fraud. In the end, the only thing that worked as planned was the flow of public money straight into the furnace. The airport was a monument to waste and corruption and the collapse of oversight. BR stands as a 7 billion euros warning. Even the grandest designs can be undone by unchecked ambition and failed oversight. Across Europe, infrastructure overruns now top 100 billion euros. The real cost isn't concrete, it's public trust. In the end, beauty means nothing if safety is only skin deep.